Rimworld is a story generator, not a skill test. A ruined colony is a dramatic tragedy, not a failure. And today's story will be happening on sea ice, the most scarce and coldest place known to Rimworld. And fittingly, we will be playing a vampire, cold-blooded. You know the story, yeah. Which will run out first, blood or warmth? But instead we go through this glorious ascension to the wealth and glory. Our Jack Steele, who is our blood-sucking intellectual, also capable working with his hands. Quite a find he is. And to accompany his is Nancy. She also appears to be quite smart, even picked up the trademark trait, alcoholism. Good luck with that. Well, if she can't handle it, I know one of us can eat her, so that's a win in my book. For a religion, I picked one of the pre-mates because I'm lazy, called Blood Worshippers. It's funny enough, actually quite self-explanatory. Best thing though is that it allows us to use any dumb enough raider as a sort of a meal. Yeah, but that's actually a good thing, you know. As we arrived, we were met with the cruel reality of this challenge. Nothing. There was nothing. There was that mech thing over there, but nothing. Yeah, but it did not mean that we can sit on our thumbs and do nothing. No time wasted. We started laying down plans for our colony. Okay, let's be real. It's like a shack. We gotta be relative here. Like, we got resources limited to 200 steel, 200 wood, 2,000 silver. It's kind of crucial to think this whole thing through, okay? Several minutes later, my two brain cells finally reached each other, and I decided that what is required for sure is warmth to stop us from turning into popsicles, power for that life-saving heater and warmth, and maybe even one light if we go real wild. And a research bench to research. Yeah. Long-time plan? Yeah, I was that optimistic. Was acquire something, anything really, to build a base enough to have hydroponics for food. Researching them seemed like a time essential mission. Yup, wrong again. And as a last thing, we need that shack, like place to keep warm. I obviously planned the perfect shape first try. It didn't take, eventually this was what we had, and this is what was left of our resources. Splendid. We ended up giving our already tortured and abandoned pawns beds made of silver to keep those suicidal thoughts, otherwise murderous thoughts, a little bit longer, okay? We could have used more silver to build, but honestly, I was hoping to come across some mad lad caravan. But remember what I said? Optimistic. Every now and then, we were lucky enough to have some furballs roam around. Obviously, this was a mistake from their part. While slaughtering them, Steele also complimented Nancy's self-control, apparently. And, we were on an ice sheet, and, that was all that it took Nancy to fall madly in love with Steele. Apparently, that was kind of smooth. It wasn't too long, and Randy felt like it was time to send some poor fellas to this hell made of ice, which we started to call our home. And we were not gonna take that slightly. Steele and Nancy, already drooling for some human steaks, sliced the poor lads in seconds, almost like already measuring pieces for dinner. It was truly beautiful. Steele, as a proper class A psychopath, made sure that Nancy held her plate enough to just incapacitate the victims, He likes his food still warm, lingering in pain when he drinks the power to... Yep. At this point, I felt like Nancy can be released to whatever she was doing. Not that she's bothered by her partner's ungodly ways, but still here likes to dine in peace. After both eventually went cold for lack of any blood in their body, they still had to be cut for steaks to later use. That's called recycling. Their tainted rags didn't get recycled, so more like moved far away. That's called convenience. As so, we got to the hardest part of this challenge. Doing nothing. Doing nothing. Pawns took turns researching, sleeping, butchering, waiting game begins. Eventually, Nancy got so bored, she decided she wanted to name these frozen tombs she found herself at. Our faction was classic me thinking I'm funny, but our settlement name was more to be descriptive of our actual situation. Guess what we did then? Well, we actually destroyed this exostrider thing over there. Why? Well, isn't it obvious? We were bored out of our minds. Do you know when boys do the most dumb stuff they can think of? When they're bored out of their minds. So yeah, we almost burned steel alive. While getting the obviously currently useless mechlink. It's all going according to plan. Then we went back to waiting, yeah. During next 3 days or something, we eventually got all this done. So without anything better to do, we decided it was time to put a ring on it. And marriage was on. Like there was anyone else to marry, yeah. Now, let's not look into that, okay? Even the rascal Randy was so moved by this beautiful demonstration of how love can survive and thrive anywhere. He sent us some sacrificial goats. Or maybe they were just passing through. We slaughtered them anyway. Slowly, we ran out of hope of ever seeing anyone to trade with. So we started using our silver to make some shelves, obviously. There was also 2 trombos visiting us. And yes, I did think about it, but no way I'm that insane. Right? So we left the trombos alone as we decided that they will maul us, no question about it. Even a child would know without trying, okay? So, yeah. Our colony was getting steadily smarter and also crazier. It was like knowing all this stuff without being able to do anything about it was driving us nuts day by day. Or the fact that we were slowly withering away on an ice sheet that would most likely end up being our forever casket, one or the other. As there is limit to all madness, Nancy started slipping to the other side of the reality. There was some tribals wandering about, obviously lost and in need of help. Finally some contact with the world. So we did what anyone would do in our lonely situation. We slaughtered them ruthlessly. Some were lucky enough to get their mind blown by our vampire techniques, but the others were used like coconut shells while still sip at them dry. We also had some traders come by finally, but they were not too interested buying too much. Steve was still feeling full from last Bloodfest, so we decided it was too lazy to trouble himself with the travelers. And then we waited. And waited. And waited. Randy dropped some meals for us to... But at this point it started feeling more like a screw you, you know? Just like, let us wither away, you cruel bastard. Like, this is what? Apparently a pack of man-eating larvas? Like, what? I decided that we offended them somehow and they've come for our asses. Weird. Not really sure what the hell they even were or how they survived the freezing cold. I actually decided to withdraw into indoors. We might as well keep doing nothing inside rather than nothing outside. Luckily more food was sent to our way and he would work as perfect exterminator for the larva. After freezing their balls off for a good time, it finally hit them that they might as well just do what they kind of came to do. He took care of the larva in no time, which honestly made me feel like an idiot sitting inside with a goddamn vampire, but nevertheless it was time to hunt some meat for the menu again. Little scared of these larva slaughtering maniacs, Steele approached him carefully, not sure if you're gonna ever see his beautiful wife again. Carefully, starting the combat with his taking advantage of the okay, yeah. Seems that might have fallen. With these exciting events coming to an end, it was time to get back to waiting. Some minutes or hours or months, I don't even know. Later, we got a message from a wanderer wanting to join us. Knowing fully well that we were low on food, still did the big brain move. Javier was taken in to be fattened for later purposes. As when colony will eventually run out of nutrients, more people still has to eat, longer he will survive. And that's the only thing that obviously matters to him. And so Javier joined us and was immediately taken to enjoy the colony's most loved activity. Fucking waiting around doing nothing. And so they did. There also most definitely was not a child wanderer at any point. Who would be crazy enough to let child wander here, you know? All it took was little more for Steele to grow impatient, and as so came the end of Javier. More food for the Fang God. I'm not sure if Steele just got enough of Javier's shenanigans, if there was any, or if the grasp of the void we call insanity was finally catching up to him. Anyhow, Javier was no more. There was a caravan finally, but sadly war merchant, which was neither interested in buying any of our wares or were we interested in any of his. So we continued waiting. Come on, Randy. Help your boy out. Travelers, you say? Good enough. After slaughtering the first one, second traveler decided he had enough and yeeted away. This obviously was not accepted to Steele, which after catching his meal decided to drain them empty slow. We were learning more and more technologies while simultaneously getting crazier by the day. This eventually led Steele to have his first proper breakdown. Plot thickens. Randy, watching us struggle to even keep our pawns sane, felt like we could use some help. So we ate him. Day 22. Wait, 22? Are you kidding? Oh my. Anyway, we gathered to celebrate marriage. All two of us. What a happy day. This mood boost was definitely needed, as for some reason we were getting upset by all the deceiving and help eating and... Anyway, back to waiting around. What we really needed was enough steel to make our smithing station, and as so opened the possibility of making steel out of these chunks, as they seem to be the only thing constantly appearing on our map. Randy sent us a record too, but never anything close enough to actually help us, obviously. There was a space lion, some murderous fur balls, and a dude. All came nutrients for our colonists. Steele lost his shit again, and Nancy threaded the needle a bit, but with glory. There was also this thing, but we mercilessly decided to let them be in peace. Steele really needed to play dead for a couple days to recharge, but he rather stormed around yelling profanities and kicking snow, like a proper emo vampire. Don't worry, we confiscated everything sharp. I was finally able to force Steele to play dead and calm his shit literally, which meant it was even lonelier for Nancy now. She did all kinds of cool things people tend to do when they have some alone time. Just kidding, it was boring as shit, like, yeah. Mysterious phoenix like bird drop from space, tastes like chicken. Steele, like any angsty teenager, slept about 4 days before finally getting his arse up. Bored out of his mind, he decided to take on some mechs. Nancy, ashamed of his husband struggling to put down one walking toaster, decided to do it herself. Cool. This then allowed us to extract this mech thingy out of this guy's brain and shove it in ours, which was totally useless, but as said, I was bored. Almost reaching for solutions that were not real. Lifter joined us as eager member to the colony. Just look at the little guy go. Good job, little man. And as so got shut down and left outside. We even learned microelectronics, which then allowed us to understand even better how little we actually understood. We did some renovating with the leftover silver as we had given up all our hope with any useful caravan. Fancy. So fancy indeed, it made Nancy pretty much drop dead during her sleep. Or maybe it was the starvation. I bet it was the silver walls, not me failing this challenge. Consider how things have ended for most coming for this wretched place. I consider that was one of the better ways to go. Still sad though. At this point it was all just too much for our Lord of Darkness, and he decided to give up as well. I feel you, mate. I've given up too at this point. But no, it was not over. Randy decided it was time for a mysterious man in black to whoop in and save the day. As a thank you, we made him butcher Nancy's still limp body for some nutrients and feed Steel some long-needed blood, all naked. As so, he will prepare himself to be Steel's dinner after our sleeping beauty decides to finally wake up. There was some arguments by John's side, but eventually we were able to convince him to go die outside for a greater good. This white withering corpse lying here, who you never even actually talked to. John complied. It was finally Steel's time to wake up. His wife gone from his side. Familiar clothes lying on the ground next to the butchering spot. You go outside, and in front of your door there's a naked man who is oddly jacked up. What the fuck is going on here? Confusion and anger finally drive Steel to release his crackhead-like fury upon anything that comes to his way, meaning this howler bot here. Go get him, son. Lifter, now dead by the mauling of this beast formerly known as Steel, our hero isn't sure what to do anymore. No one to hit, no one to kill. Where to release all this hate? So he freezes and fucking drops dead because of hypothermia. Well, the rage ended. Is this it? Is this the end of our story? Lying frozen on the ground, unable to die, but unable to live either. Frozen hell. It's kind of poetic if you ask me. Are you Guess we're doing this. Okay, so yeah, meet Ivy. Ivy seems to be our last hope in this frozen goddamn wasteland. Can we actually do this? Ivy is chased by the furious furballs, which Ivy handles with commander. With care, okay? And then tends to our frozen prince. Ivy is actually allowed to put on some clothes, as it seems that we might need her to help out for a while. Ivy then does what everyone does here. Waits around bored out of his mind. And of course kills some more furballs. Ivy actually turned out to be such a glimmer of hope for an old lad that I even made her a bed. From human skin, but nevertheless. We even got raided, but they were nothing against our beautiful Goldjet. Ivy, still hearing previous victims' cries in the walls at night, was so afraid of Steel's reaction when he wakes up that she even went through the trouble of getting him some extra blood. Yet again, making them fear you works. This was followed by long days of snow and loneliness, which eventually led Ivy to meet the same fate as everyone else here. Her demise, alone in the snow, while South Pole's sun glimmers its last light on her face. I am truly sorry, Ivy. You did good. But wait. What is that shadow in the sunset? Oh, it's just a raid from Soulstrikers, who then kidnapped Ivy. And so it goes on the Rimworld. As Randy gives, he takes, and we are left alone in the never-ending sleep, frozen in the shack which eventually came, and I think we all kinda knew this. Our coffin. If you survived this far, it's definitely further than most of my pawns. Congratulations, I really do appreciate you, my friend. Consider leaving a like and a comment or a subscription for more. I also stream on Geek and here, Rimworld, alongside with other amazing war crimes related games. Stay awesome, stay safe. I'll see you guys next time. Bye for now.